What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Terraria tier list. Today, we're going to be looking at bullets. I need more bullets. Terraria has 16 different types of bullets, all of which are unlocked at different stages in the game. Let's get it started with the musket ball. Now, the musket ball is the first bullet that you're going to get from either Shadow Orb or Crimson Orb. It's one of the first bullets you get. Is pretty standard. It does a 7 base damage, 4 velocity. Total velocity multiplier is 2. Not quite sure what that means. Knockback is 2, which is very weak. It's just a standard bullet. No surprise it's going to be C tier because it's just the first bullet you get. Next up we have the silver bullet. Now this is probably one of the second bullets you're going to get. You get it from the arms dealer. You can buy it from the arms dealer. It's a little bit more pricey. Does a little bit higher DPS with 9 damage. Higher velocity of 4.5. Total velocity multiplier is 2, and knockback is 3, which is a little bit higher, but still very weak. And yeah, it's kind of just a better version of the musket ball. It costs slightly more, making it not as viable. You can also get it from pots. But yeah, overall, I wouldn't use it that much, but it is just overall just a better bullet. You can also craft them with silver bars, I believe, which if you have silver at that stage in the game is not bad. Probably the best against bosses since you don't want to spend that much money on them. But yeah, I would say it's a solid B tier. All right, next up we have the tungsten bullet, which is the same variant but for the worlds that have tungsten instead of silver. Everything is the exact same except for the fact that it does 4.5 velocity. It's slightly faster, and the knockback is slightly more too. It has weak knockback instead of very weak, so it's straight up just a better silver bullet. So it's obviously going to go above both of them. Not the best, but it's a solid B tier. Not bad bullets. If you have the money, they are worth it. If you don't, musket balls is a good alternative. All right, next we have meteor shot. Now this is a bullet that you will get from after defeating a boss like Eye Cthulhu, and a meteor will drop. Once a meteor drops, you can mine up the meteorite and make meteor shot. It gives you like 70 bullets per meteorite bar, so it's not the most efficient. Its special attribute is that it can bounce. This makes it have a unique ability to be able to find floating islands. In old gen Terraria, it did 9 damage, which is the same as the silver bullets, but in Journey's End, it does 8 damage. So it's not as good. Lower velocity of 3, velocity multiplier is 2 still. Knockback is 1, extremely weak. Overall, it's not very good. It does bounce off walls though, which is really fun. But overall, meteorite is kind of hard to get, and if you have a mage, it is not very viable. I'm gonna throw it C tier, but I'm gonna throw it slightly above the regular musket balls. So these are all the normal mode bullets. Now we got explosive bullets. Now these ones are pretty good. It's not too expensive to get. You buy the empty bullet. You get 50 of those with 1 explosive powder, and you can make 50 exploding bullets. You buy the explosive powder from the demolitionist, empty bullets from the arms dealer. And yeah, these bullets are pretty good. They have a damage of 10. They explode, obviously. Velocity of 4.7, so a little higher than the base musket ball. And it's slightly higher than silver bullet. They have a total velocity multiplier of 3. Knockback of 6.6, which is very high. It's a strong knockback. They're very good for like group mobs, and also pretty good against bosses. I think we're gonna throw this one A tier. It's pretty easy to get. You can get it as soon as you go into hard mode, and it's pretty good against mech bosses, I'd say. For the stage in the game, they're very good. The party bullet. Now this bullet does 10 damage. Velocity of 5.1, which is pretty high. Velocity multiplier 3. Knockback of 5, which is average. And yeah, you get these from an empty bullet casing that you get from the arms dealer and confetti. They release a cloud of confetti once hit an enemy or a solid block. No other special properties, so they're just a more expensive bullet. Since you can get this pretty hard mode, I haven't used this bullet that much, but it is very good. I would have to say this is probably A tier. I'd say it's a little bit below the explosive bullet, but if you can get the party bullets, it is definitely a good high damage bullet that you can use against enemies. However, I would probably recommend having some sort of armor like the fossil armor or the mini shark if you're going to use it, since it does cost a decent amount of money. Next up, we got the endless musket pouch. Now, this you can get directly going into hard mode once you find the wizard. You need 4,000 musket balls at the crystal ball, and you can craft this. Now, this gives you infinite amount of musket balls. Now, some guns that you get in hard mode pair very well with this, such as the Uzi, which do high velocity bullets, transform the musket balls into high velocity bullets, and same with the Venus Magnum. With those, this is definitely the best form of ammo. I'm going to throw it S tier just because there's no reason you shouldn't have this if you're a ranger. The fact that it's infinite amount of it, and it pairs very well with some guns, and just if you run out of bullets, you have these bullets. All right, next up we have Ichor bullets. Now, you craft these, you can get them immediately in a hard mode. If you're in a Crimson, kill the Ichor stickers, use Ichor with 150 musket balls, which used to be 50 in old gen Terraria, but they buffed it recently to make it easier to make. These inflict the Ichor debuff, which weakens enemies and bosses, which is really good. These bullets have a damage of 13, which is very high and very good, especially for just getting to hard mode. Velocity of 5.25, which is pretty high also compared to the explosive bullets. Total velocity multiplier of 3. Knockback of 4, which is weak. These bullets are definitely very good. I am going to throw these A tier, a little above the explosive bullets. These bullets are very good for bosses mainly. Are not too bad to get now that they have been buffed and easier to make. Alright, next up we have the Accursed bullet. This is the corrupted variant of the Ichor bullets. These do slightly less damage of 12. Velocity of 5, which is a little less also. Velocity multiplier is the same at 3. Knockback is 4, which is also the same. The only difference is that instead of weakening the enemies, it gives the Cursed Inferno debuff, which causes damage over time and cannot be extinguished with water, like the On Fire debuff. Overall, it's kind of just a worse version of the Ichor bullets. Therefore, we're just going to put it in the same tier and slightly lower. Alright, next up we have the Crystal bullet. This is one of the last pre-mech boss bullets that you can get. You have to go into the hollow to get the crystal shards, and you combine it with bullets. It is 100 musket balls with a crystal shard to make 100 crystal bullets. In old gen, it used to be 50, so just easier to get now. Have been nerfed to shoot 2 shards instead of 3, making these not as good. I'm gonna have to put these low A just because they have been nerfed. They have been easier to make, which is good, but the fact that they have been nerfed doesn't make them nearly as good. Very good against bosses and pairs very well with the Uzi. Uzi with crystal bullets is considered better than the Mega Shark with crystal bullets, is what I've seen. Beyond that, there's probably better alternatives like the explosive bullets. Next up we have the golden bullet in very early hard mode, which you can buy the golden dust from the merchant and combine it with the bullet casings you get from the arms dealer. You need 50 empty bullets and 1 golden dust to make 50 golden bullets. Now these bullets give you more money. They apply the Midas, makes the enemy afflicted by it drop 10 to 50% more coins. Now, this bullet isn't very good unless you are using a sniper rifle, making it the best with a sniper rifle, which is hard mode dungeon, and at that point, money does not matter that much. I'm gonna throw these around D tier because I can't complain about money, getting more money, but there are better alternative bullets. It does 10 range damage, 4.6 velocity, which is pretty fast, but not that good. Velocity multiplier 3 and knockback of 3.6, which is just weak. For damage, not good. For money, it's all right. A lucky coin would probably be better, which you can get earlier and on by the pirates. All right, so next up we have the high velocity bullet. Now you get this from defeating a mech boss, getting cogs from the steampunker. These bullets are really good. You can get the same effect, the bullet shot out of a gun from the Uzi, but if you want to use other guns with this after the fact, you're gonna have to craft them with the cogs and bullets. You need 50 empty bullets and 1 cog to craft them, and they have been buffed semi-recently in 1.4.2, or sorry, 1.4.1. Damage increase from 10 to 11 and can now pierce twice, hitting up to 3 enemies. So that's very good against waves. And one of the first piercing bullets you can get. High velocity bullets, 11 damage now and 10 damage in old gen. Velocity of 4, which is kind of ironic since that is lower than crystal bullets, cursed bullets, and even silver bullets. Total velocity multiplier though is 8, which is very high. Knockback is 4, which is weak. And yeah, these bullets are very good. Since the buff, I think these are a solid S tier. I think it's a little bit lower on S though. These bullets are very handy when fighting bosses, and especially handy against waves. A pretty good all-purpose bullet is pretty good. It can be good against like the destroyer, just any of the mech bosses. Not too bad, except for the twins. Not the best there, but yeah, a little bit situational, but overall pretty good bullet. Next we have Chlorophyte bullets. Now you get this after defeating all the mech bosses, and you can mine Chlorophyte with the pickaxe axe. These bullets are very infamous for being able to home. Cost 70 bullets and a Chlorophyte bar, making them pretty pricey. However, since their ability to home makes them very good. They do, in old gen, used to do 15 damage, which is insanely good. However, they have been nerfed since to only do 9 damage, which is only comparable to the silver and tungsten bullets, which are pre-hard mode. So their damage is fallen off. Velocity is 5, which is very fast. Velocity multiplier is 3, which is standard, pretty standard for hard mode bullets. A knockback is 4.5, which is average. And yeah, these bullets used to be at the top of the game. I would definitely put them S tier back when they did 15 damage, but they've kind of fallen off, honestly. I don't remember the last time I've used Chlorophyte bullets since 1.4's release, honestly. They were nerfed in 1.2 from 15 to 10. However, in 1.4, where it went from 10 to 9, I'm going to put this high B tier. It is very good against like the Moonlord and Empress of Light daytime. They are very pricey and don't do that much damage. However, our next contender, the Nano bullets, which are very infamous if you're aware of them as the cheap man's Chlorophyte bullet. The Nano bullets are obtained post Plantera, so they are harder to get and later in the game than Chlorophyte bullets. They do 15 damage, which is what the old Chlorophyte bullets used to be. So it's a lot higher damage. 4.6 velocity, which is slower. Velocity multiplier is 3, which is standard, and knockback is 3.6, which is weak. The Nano bullets are 50 bullet casing and nanites that you buy from Cyborg. These have been buffed from 10 damage to 15 and 1.4 and can cause confusion. They bounce off of hitting a wall and home onto enemies. Now, these bullets, I have not used them that much since they have only recently been buffed. I am going to have to throw these A tier. I think I'm going to throw them below. Since you obtained them very late in the game, I'm going to throw it below the Ichor and the Cursed bullets, however, since these are easier to get and do a lot of damage and also inflict debuffs. Next up, we have the Venom bullets. Now, these do the second most damage bullet in the game, behind Luminite bullets, obviously. They do the same as Nanite bullets. These 15 damage, 5.3 velocity, which is very fast. These have the highest velocity in the game. Velocity multiplier of 3, so their velocity multiplier is not as high. Knockback is 4.1, making it average. And yeah, the Venom bullets inflict the acid venom debuff. These are pretty good bullets. They have been buffed in 1.4, dealing 15 instead of 14 damage. And yeah, there's post-planetary ammunition, so it is harder to get and similar to the nanite bullets. I'm gonna throw it. I feel like the nanite bullets are better. However, these are very good also. I'm gonna throw it high B tier. I think it's better than the chlorophyte bullets, since once you get chlorophyte bullets, you're pretty much past Plantera at that point. Or the only boss next is Plantera. So the venom bullets are definitely better. You buy the vial of venom to create the venom bullets from the witch doctor, by the way. Last but not least, we have the luminite bullets. Now, these bullets are post Moonlord. They do damage of 20, which is by far the most. Velocity of 2. Velocity multiplier of 6, which makes them extremely fast. They have a knockback of 3, and yeah, they pierce, but do less damage the more they pierce. You get 333 luminite bullets after crafting them at the ancient manipulator with 1 luminite bar, which is pretty good. It's a very good bullet. It's definitely the best bullet in the game. Yeah, I'm gonna throw this one S tier for sure, just because it's the best bullet. It is post Moonlord, however. They are very fun though, I have to say. I'm gonna throw it S tier, but I'm gonna throw it below the high velocity bullets, since I find at the time in the game they're very fun and some of the best. And musket balls are gonna be the best, but I don't think that's really debatable, to be honest. It's just free ammo. This is the bullet tier list. I don't think there's any of these that are really that bad. I think some of them are not as viable on very niche situations for some of the bullets, and some of them maybe you just don't want to spend extra money on, and then some of them you just really like because they pierce and do their job and do high amounts of damage too. If you guys have any alternative thoughts, leave it in the comments. Take care. Happy holidays to everybody out there, and bye-bye.